What's going on, dude? It's Andy the Nomad. I'm back with another video. So, the Philippines. I like the Philippines. I love the Philippines. I like Manila. I like Cebu. I like the ladies over there. I like the atmosphere. I like the vibe. Okay, and I like the fact that the Philippines is a Christian country, primarily Catholic, right? I like everything about the Philippines thus far. People talk a lot of crap about the Philippines. I don't care. When I went there, I really liked it. I was treated well. People are so nice. And it's not just Americans, Canadians, and Europeans that are moving over to the Philippines, but also the Japanese. The Japanese like to go there. Some Chinese, but nobody really mentions the Chinese. And I think it's because the Chinese, they're kind of everywhere. The Chinese, they go everywhere, all over the world. So, but the Japanese, here's the funny thing about the Japanese, and I'm not trying to like down talk them, but the Japanese, they're not really known for being like nomadic, right? The Japanese are known for having like a very rich culture, very rich history, beautiful. Their country's very beautiful. The sakura trees, the culture, the way they design everything, right? The way they design everything, right? So beautiful. In Japan, the language, anime, and all their other media, entertainment that they have created. But the Japanese are not very known for like leaving the country. They've always been like the Japanese love their country so much they don't really like leave too much. They don't really like leave the country that much. So, anyways, I like to see what a Japanese person thinks about the Philippines, right? So, hit it.
Hello, Philippine. I'm Yoji. I
Hello, Yoji.
have lived in Manila, Philippines, almost a year, and I got visa actually 3 months ago. Yay! Finally, I'm officially
Give him a
Philippine
hand. Give him a hand.
resident.
Give him a hand.
Congrats to myself. Well, a lot of local people ask me why you choose Philippines, why you move to Philippines. At the same time, when I go back to Japan, a lot of Japanese friends ask me, why you choose Philippines? Why
So, really quick, when I was in the Philippines, I was hanging out with this girl, and we saw a group of Japanese guys hanging out at the beach of Cebu. So, that was very interesting.
not other country? So, today I'm gonna tell you 6 reasons why I choose Philippines to live. Alright, number one, hot weather. Weather in Philippines is very hot, as you know. Very hot. You have a two weather.
Let me stop right there. Since he's from Japan, Japan has both weathers, summer, autumn, winter, and spring, all four seasons. Um, but when you're in Europe, for example, in Europe, if you're in Scandinavia, European country, the summer doesn't last very long. The summer only lasts for about like 2 weeks. In England, I think it lasts only 2 weeks, and in Canada, in some places, yeah, about 2 weeks. They don't really don't see the sun a lot. So let's say if you're traveling from Europe and you go to a place like the Philippines, it's a breath of fresh air. But him coming from Japan, because Japan does have beaches over there. I don't know how nice the beaches are, but yeah.
In Philippines, hot and very hot. No, that's a joke, actually. But honestly speaking, I prefer
Another thing is that Japan is really not that cold. It's really not that cold.
hot weather and sweaty and sunny weather instead of the snowing and cold weather. I like to stay outside. I like to get suntan. I like to go swimming pool and gym workouts. So I like summer and hot weather. Hot weather or really hot weather
Right with
like
you, brother.
Philippines make me more active to do something. More
True,
jogging,
true.
more workouts, or swimming outside, or I feel like I want to travel more, you know. But winter, I feel like, oh, I want to stay home. Of course, winter has a lot of good things as well. Good food, and if you take a hot spring under the snow, you feel amazing. Japanese onsen, wintertime, outside. I would really recommend. But personally speaking, I prefer hot weather. That's why.
Me
That's
too. Me
one
too,
of the
brother.
my
Me too.
reason I moved to Philippines. Second reason is low cost. I live in
Now, here's something that I do want to share with you guys is that the Philippines is low cost, like when you exchange dollars for Filipino pesos. But there are other countries that are cheaper. Like Thailand is actually cheaper than the Philippines with better infrastructure, Malaysia, Indonesia. The reason why the Philippines is such a popular choice is because they speak English. The fact that the Philippines speak English gives them a huge advantage in so many ways, right? And this guy, his English is pretty clear. So I guess it was easy for him to transition. And I'm guessing because he speaks English, I'm guessing he must have traveled to other countries. Maybe it sounds like he's been to America before.
Philippines almost a year. As I said, I go to wet market, I go to supermarket. I feel like I can save 70% or 50% of Japanese living cost.
You know what's interesting about that? The Japanese yen has gone down in value, and yet his currency still has a lot of power.
If you don't take Grab, if you don't take a taxi, you take a MRT, public transportation, and jeepney and tricycle, you can save a lot of money. Even
Yeah, I like to take the jeepney. The jeepney is just that I don't know which way exactly they're going, but I like the jeepney. I like the jeepney and the tricycles.
foreigner who live in Philippines. That's a second reason why I choose Philippines. Low cost. Number three. Number three is nice beach. Yeah, sounds okay, right? Nice beach. Philippines has more than 7,000 islands. Can you imagine?
Japan has like I think like 60,000 islands. I think yeah, Japan has a bunch of islands. So
7,000 islands. I have only been to 4, 5 islands while I stay in Philippines 1 year.
I heard about Boracay. That when I was in a taxi in the Philippines, the taxi driver in Manila, he recommended I visit Boracay. I think I'll give it a try.
So I still have a bunch of more than 7,000 islands to discover. A lot of Japanese or a lot of foreigners know about Boracay, Cebu, and let's say Palawan, El Nido. Before I come into Philippines, I already knew these names. But after I arrived to Philippines and living in Philippines, local Filipino recommend me to go to Coron, of course El Nido, Siargao, and there are a bunch of nice beaches, which is not famous, which is unknown yet, undiscovered yet. As I said, Philippines has more than 7,000 islands. So you still have many islands to discover. If I live in Philippines, every year how many islands I can discover. So that make me very excited to live in Philippines. I can discover a lot from now on. So that's one of the reasons why I moved to Philippines. Okay, number 4, English speaker.
What did I say? What did I say? I mean, again, this is something that gives it a huge advantage. English being a global business language, and this man, this Japanese man, speaking English. also gives him an advantage because I think it would have been much harder if he did not speak English, right? But and also if you speak Tagalog, the Filipino language, Tagalog, you get an even higher advantage. So, um, if you do plan to move there, then learn Tagalog. There's a couple of apps. There's a couple of really good apps for people to learn.
Philippine, a lot of people speak English. Philippine is second English speaking country in terms of English level in Asia. Number one is Singapore, and number two is Philippines. Japan is, I think, average or even lower than average. If you want to rent apartment, if you want to do business, if you start working for the company in Philippines, as long as you can speak basic English, you don't have any problem. That's why Philippines is very attractive country for me to live.
Good
English
brother.
speaking.
Good brother.
Not that many in Asia. Few country can speak very good English in Asia.
And also in Japan, the Japanese, they're not big on English. A lot of Koreans speak English, but in Japan, even in Tokyo, you don't find a lot of English speakers, and a lot of Japanese are very resistant to learning English for some reason.
Asia. That's why. That's one of my reasons to live in Philippines. Number five is growing economy.
True, the economy keeps growing in the Philippines, and in all over too, because there's so many islands, right? So there's Cebu, Manila, Davao, Dumaguete, I think Iloilo. What's the other one? Zamboanga. I think one of the areas that's kind of like underdeveloped in the Philippines is the Zamboanga area, Pagadian. Yeah, the Zamboanga area is not very developed. Those areas need more development. So yeah.
Economy is growing a lot in Philippines. Since President Duterte in power, 5 to 7% every year growing. Japan used to be like that before, long time ago. But now 1%, 1.5% growth, not that much. If I want to see the economic growth of the country, I need to move to somewhere else. I need to travel to somewhere else to see the growth. Philippines is one of the country.
Yeah, so because remember, for the longest time, it was Japan was a growing power, a big growing power in Asia, right? And then after that, it was Korea, and then after Korea was China, and now China, Korea, and Japan have kind of like peaked. They've reached like an economic peak, right? And they have built so many good cities. So now other Asian countries are on the rise. So the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what is happening in Mongolia. What's happening in Mongolia? I don't even know.
In Asia, in the world. So I decided to move to Philippines because every year, every week, every month, you can feel the difference of the country, of the city. We don't see that such a fast economy anymore in Japan. So if you want to see the growth, you have to move. That's why I choose Philippines to live. Philippines has big potential.
Yeah, get in now before, within the next 20 years, the Philippines, the cost of living is going to go up. And then you're going to see something like, a thousand, well, I don't think so, $1,000 apartments, maybe not, but right now you can get apartments for $200, $300. Very affordable.
Big market, and I really want to see how one country is growing next 5, 10 years. So
I wonder what is he doing? I'm going to look at his YouTube channel, but what is he doing to stay there long term because he's been there for a year already. So what kind of job does he have? A remote job? Does he have an online business? Does he just rely on his YouTube channel? Hold on a second. Oh, I mean, he only has 4,000. He's not making much from YouTube. Anyways,
I decided to move to Philippines. Last reason is people. People in Philippines in general, very happy people,
yes.
smiling and relaxing because of the weather, because of the culture probably. I can hear a lot of laughing or smiling. I can see the smiles when I go to shopping mall, which is quite different from Japan. Japan is more, I think, more serious, or Japan is very shy
Shy.
in
Yeah.
public. But Filipinos even like laughing with Clyde or holding stomach and laughing. That's fantastic. It's give me the good influence. They give me the good vibe. I need to add one more thing in this number six reason. Philippines is safer than what I expected. Before
Yeah. This is something that I actually realized. You know how, like, in America, you live in America and then you always think, um, oh, like America's the best country on the planet. Like, we have the safest country ever. No. No. I'm actually more scared of, I'm actually more afraid of being shot in America than, let's say, in the Philippines. In the Philippines, I actually feel safe. In the Philippines, I feel safe. Now, I will say this. I will say this that in the Philippines, I'm afraid of getting my phone stolen, right? So, my phone, I'm afraid of getting this stolen, but I'm not afraid of getting killed. I'm afraid of getting my computer stolen. I'm not afraid of somebody hurting me. You understand what I'm saying, right? Here in America, not only will somebody take your phone, but you also get killed, like shot, get you freaking, I don't know, a drive by or something. You get school shootings, freaking, crowd shootings, mall shootings, every kind of shooting, right? But in the Philippines, I don't feel that way. Now, because the Philippines, there are parts of the Philippines that are poor, that are still underdeveloped. Um, those are the parts where, like, people will steal your stuff. But the Filipinos, they don't really have like a killer intent, you know?
coming to Manila, Philippines, I thought Philippines is not that safe. But depends on where you go. I think Philippines is safer. Of course, don't go out alone at night. After you get drunk, you get drink, don't go walking outside alone. But as long as you're right
Honestly, I still feel safer at night in the Philippines than I do in America.
area, right time, and as long as you can protect yourself, try to take a grab if you get drunk or something like that. You can be safe. And people are very nice. These six reasons. One, weather. Two, low cost, the price.
Mm-hmm.
Three, nice
Nice
beaches,
beach.
nice beach and islands. Number four, English speaking country.
English speaking country.
Number five, economy is growing fast. I can see, I can feel it. Number six, people. People is very happy. Hope you like my video.
All right, so that was it, and this was a very interesting perspective, and like this goes to show you that yeah, a lot of first world countries are becoming kind of unlivable. Now, to be fair, Japan is still very livable. Like the social situations there are kind of difficult because Japanese people are shy. The economy is not growing. But overall, I choose Japan over America. I would choose Japan over America at this point. So, however, the reason why he moved is because Japan is not growing anymore, and he wants to see growth. And it's the same. It's the same all over the world. Like any country that was like rich in the 80s, like America, Canada, England, Germany, Japan, the big economies, the top 10 economies back in the 1980s. Now those economies are not as strong, and there's other people, other countries that are getting a chance to grow. So yeah. All right, so that's gonna be it. Whatever your thoughts are, make sure to comment below. Tell me what you think. Leave a comment. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy Andy the Nomad. Godspeed.